Hi, my name is Ben Welch, and we're visiting this afternoon with Ryan Graver. Ryan, where are you from?
Malta, Missouri.
And Ryan's was sharing some experiences with Rhino grease. Rhino, let us have it on Rhino grease. What did you see? Just relate that experience.
I joined Conklin, and with my $150 free product, I ordered all Conklins. I was in the middle of harvest on the Rhino grease, and
This year?
yes, this year. And I noticed on my combine where one of my grease certs that I grease every day, I usually pump, I'd say around 10 to 12 pumps, and with my normal grease, red high temp grease that I used, so I put the Conklin grease in, I bled my grease gun, and when I bled it, I put the Conklin grease in, 11 to 12 pumps, filled it back up. I ran for a whole day, and of course the farmers out there know when you're running a combine, it's running full blast all day long. I mean, everything takes a beating.
Yep.
The next morning I went to grease, and it was kind of one of those moments, I can't remember exactly what they say, the aha or aha moments.
Yeah, like they talk about on TV.
Yeah, and I had one of those. I went and I was greasing the combine, and on this particular Marion, I was really paying attention, and I pumped 3 times and heard it squish out like I do usually on a normal 10 to 12 pumps. And I was amazed. I'd never heard that before. And also on my platform head, I grease U-joints every day on it on my drive shafts. Usually put 4 pumps, I put 1 pump in now. And on my 50 and my 100-hour grease, from using 2 to 3 tubes of normal red grease on all of the bearings, I'm down to where I can do my whole combine in a 1.5 tubes of Rhino grease. And I'm getting the better protection. There's a couple spots on my combine where my unload auger spins in and out, where water gets down in it. And I've noticed the red grease, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have mixed it with water and done those tests. It turns pink, and it's nasty. Yep. And believe it or not, when you get the pink grease in there, it doesn't work. It breaks down. It's disgusting. The Conklin grease, it kept the water out. Like, it didn't soak water in. And that was one, I've never seen a grease do that with the grease that I've used, and I thought that was excellent.
Just as an aside, Ryan, you actually cannot mix. If you try to mix water with Rhino, it won't mix. It won't go in there at all, no matter how much you try to mix it in.
I'm a firm believer of it. I haven't tried that yet, but seeing the stuff that I put the grease through, I haven't seen a grease that has touched it yet.
Yep.
And that's the honest to God, and it was definitely one of those things I will buy for the rest of my farming career.
What's interesting to me, Ryan's, I guess, a fairly new Conklin user.
Yes.
And a lot of times we forget about Rhino grease. We've got great products in several different categories, but the grease somehow we don't emphasize it enough. But yet you have a bearing go out, and that's big bucks. And we need to be, and I'll tell you what, you reminded me as you were first relating those experiences, you reminded me how much we need to be talking about right now.
Yeah, and I mean, and just like you said, and it's just not that it's big bucks. It's the grease is your backbone. That's what, it saves you an ungodly amount of money if you keep and it's just like all the great, speakers have said, Conklin products work if you use them properly. If you grease your machine with it when you're supposed to, I've never had to, this year, and this is a fact, I haven't had to change anything on my combine using Conklin grease. Usually once or, you have a bearing go out or a U-joint go out, I have had no breakdowns, knock on wood, with using Conklin grease. And I have a father that can back that with me. And my combine runs smooth. There's no vibration. It really opened my eyes with using the Conklin Rhino grease.
Ryan, you'd also mentioned something about heat.
Yeah. whenever I was introduced to Conklin grease and I started using it, I wanted to do some of my own tests on it. And my dad had told me to take a piece of metal, put the red grease, the high temp red grease we were using from our local store, and put the Rhino grease on it. And he said, put a good amount, stick a torch under it, and don't get them scalding red hot, but heat them up to what an operating temp would be, and see which one, hold the heat to them, see which one breaks down. We did this. The red grease broke down, melted, ran off, and the Conklin grease stayed together. Yeah, it started, of course, it's going to get hard. It kind of got a little hard, but I mean, it stayed together and never ran out through my test. So
Yeah, it does take the heat.
yeah, it definitely does take the heat. And when you're in friction, friction makes heat, and that's what you really want, is something that can hold together with heat. So.
All right. Well, Ryan, thank you so much.